G'day, I'm Joel Rasmussen from Fight News Australia, and today I'm at Khaoboy Muay Thai in Caulfield South, talking to Chloe Dean. Chloe, thank you very much for joining me today.
No worries, man. Thanks for the chat.
Of course. Just in general, how's camp been?
Yeah, really good. I love it. This fight was meant to happen in Jan and fell through. I got sick. So it just feels like it's been in the books for so long, and I'm so keen to just get in there and do it. I actually got sick last week, but nothing's stopping me. Like, we're having this fight, so I'm keen.
How has your first pro camp been compared to an amateur camp?
To be honest, not much different. Corey trains us really hard, and Corey always said that I was going to go pro, so he's trained me hard from the start. I think also being his wife, he was always going to train me hard. But no, pretty much the same. We do the work every day, and just a bit more running, I think.
So some people, there could be favoritism when you're in there with your spouse. This gym, no, the opposite.
No. I get treated. I'm just one of the boys, which is good. Like, he's looking after me, so.
Of course. How do you feel before you fight? Like, what's it like when you're backstage before a fight?
It's still a work in progress. Like, I still get. I kind of leave my body a little bit and just go into fight or flight. So I think that's pretty common in first few fights. But so my process this time is I really want to ground myself and just be really present and work on all the things we've worked on. And because my fight or flight's pretty good. Like, I haven't lost yet, but there's tricks I want to do and like techniques that I really want to make happen in the fight.
What type of techniques to ground yourself do you think you're going to use?
Just the breath and grounding through my feet and stuff like that. Like, just focusing.
A lot of fighters talk about using stuff like visualization and meditation and stuff. Do you utilize anything like that?
I do. I've always meditated. So I've done that a little bit. I find it hard. Like, I'm a mum and also fighting, so I find it hard to get the time. But no, every night I meditate before I go to sleep, just to get into my body and focus on what's going to happen in 3 days.
How is that balance? What is it like to balance that between obviously being a mother and providing for the family and then becoming a fighter, making your pro debut? Yeah,
like, I'm not going to lie, it's hard. But it's also the best because, like, this is our gym, so our little boy runs around here. He has an amazing, a great life, and like, I'm home with him all day. So yeah, it's awesome. It's just fight week's hard because I just want to play with him and I'm like this. But apart from that, we're really lucky.
Is there almost some fighters talk about getting into like that killer mentality, that intense mentality? Is that something you find you need to do leading up to a fight, or is it you can go in there and perform?
I have that already. That's already there. Yeah, it's the rest of my life I try to chill, but that mentality's there, and as soon as I'm in the ring, that's out. So
you can just flip the switch.
It flips on me.
All
in the ring.
All that extra rage just comes out.
Yeah, it's not even rage. I really want to fight well, and I've always been very competitive in any sport I've done, and yeah, I love it. Like, this is our life. It's so cool. It's the best sport ever. Like,
what is your sporting history?
To be honest, I did a lot of netball when I was a kid, which was a waste. I have 2 older sisters, so I think my parents just shoveled me in, you're all going to do the same thing. I didn't find Muay Thai until I was about 27. I'm 33 now. I walked into Super Fight Gym and Corey was at the counter. And then, so it's just been pretty much the last 6 years.
What brought you to Super Fight?
I'd always had it in me that I wanted to do something like this, but I don't know, life, it just never panned out that way. I finally, I used to work on Inkerman Street and I lived just down the road, and so Super Fight was on my way home. And I'd always wanted to go in, so one day I worked up the courage, and then Corey was there, and the rest is history.
Was it going in with the intention of having a fight, or was it more...
At that point, no.
What made you want to have amateur fights?
Just realising I was good at it.
How far into the process of learning was that?
A while. they had to calm me. Like Corey spent a long time calming me down. I went and he left Super Fight after that, so I had 2 boxing fights. And then, and then we had a baby and COVID happened and all that, so I just had my first amateur last November. So it's been a long road.
In Muay Thai, it's a very respect-driven sport and a very traditions-based sport. When you get in there and you've made the walk and you're sealing the ring, how does that feel? I've always been interested by that process of walking and going to each post.
It's pretty special. Like that's when I try and do the grounding of myself, and pretty much just feel like I'm just sealing off the ring, so it's just me and my opponent. But yeah, it's a really cool sport. Like as I said, I did boxing and there was nothing like that. But being able to do that process is really special.
What did you like about the Muay Thai compared to doing the boxing?
The respect. How much, like, every girl I've fought, I end up, like, we're friends straight away after. Like, that's so, you don't have that in boxing. And just the culture behind it, like, it's just so special. I'm quite a spiritual person. So to have, like, it's just the yin and yang, I feel, like the beauty and also the violence, like it's just so cool. Just two parts of one whole.
We mentioned that first amateur Muay Thai fight, and you just knew after a certain amount of time. After your first amateur fight, what made you want to come back and do it again?
It finished quite quick. It finished in the second round. I was quite nervous, so I left my body in the first round, and she came forward a lot. So I just I just defended it a bit, and then in the second round I kind of came into my body, and then I finished it with knees, and then like I was like, oh, is that it? Like, like it was only 4 minutes or something, and I'd worked months for it, so I was just hanging for the next one. But then and then I was meant to go straight pro from there, but had a few amateurs, which I think worked out for the best, because there's always things, creases to iron out.
Absolutely. You're in here in the gym. Your teammate is fighting on the same card as you, same night, Connor Goodman. What's the feeling in the gym like when two people are going into both incredibly important pro fights? Your debut, him fighting for a title. What's the atmosphere in the gym like at the moment?
It's awesome. Like I feel very grateful to have shared this camp with Connor. He works so hard. He's such an animal. Like he's a man. Like he's so dedicated and dialed in to win this fight. And he pushes, like we're very similar, both quite fiery. So we just pushed each other a lot. So I feel really, really lucky to have done this with him, because he's very motivating. I love when he's in my corner.
You mentioned having 2 older sisters who also played sports growing up, and coming to Muay Thai at 27. What's the family's thoughts on the fighting?
They love it. Like it's very different for them, but they love it. Like it's so cool. How can anyone come and not love it in the end? I think the first few fights when I was boxing, they were a bit shook at the start, but now they're like my biggest cheer squad. So it's really cool. You mentioned having amateur fights. When did you say you started amateur fighting? In November, did you say? Yeah, just November, yeah. I think November, maybe September, around there.
What made you then make that jump to pro not that long later?
I didn't. Rebellion Sai and Corey spoke about it in their own conversation. I just got told. I don't get to choose. We just get told, which is good.
So no choice in the matter. You are turning pro, and then you turn pro.
I always wanted to, but you leave it in your trainer's hands when you're ready. So but I'm happy personally that I got to have a few more in between, just for nerves and stuff like that. But I think everything happens when it's meant to happen. So,
what went through your head when you got told we want you to turn pro?
Oh, just your stomach sinks for a second, and then you're like, all right, cool, let's do it. I knew the girl that Sai mentioned straight away who he thought I would fight, and it's the girl that I'm fighting this weekend. I think it's a good match. We've got, I think it'll be a good fight. Similar but different styles, quite controlled. So I'm really excited. So even when they first told me, I was excited.
We mentioned it a little bit earlier in the interview. This fight was originally booked a couple months ago, and then things didn't work out. You fell ill. How does that affect a mindset? You're going into your first pro fight. You mentioned, you're going into your first pro fight. You got those nerves, and then to have it delayed. Is that good or bad for a fighter's mindset?
I think good, personally, because there's a lot less nerves now. I'm just so ready to fight, to have this fight, because it's been in the books for so long. It just feels like it just needs to happen already. I felt terrible when I got sick. My heart went out to her, to Helen, because she'd put in the work. We all know what it's like, how much work you put in. But so I'm just so keen that we can make it happen this weekend and put on a show.
Now, I won't ask for the game plan, because you don't ask a fighter for what a game plan is before heading into a fight. But what is your mindset going into your first pro fight with all this training and everything? How do you feel going into it?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. You got me on a good day. It's the last day of camp, so life's amazing. But no, I'm just so ready. I'm so ready. I've been pretty lucky because I've obviously cornered a lot, being it was just Corey and I at the start when we opened the gym, and we've built the team over time. But I've been in those back rooms so many times. I've cornered the fight, so it's not that much of a jump. So I'm just so excited for it to be my turn.
I'm very happy to hear that. What does the rest of, not camp, because as you said, camp is over, but what do the next couple days hold for you leading up to this fight?
Hopefully just chilling out with my little boy. I've, my weight's been fine. It was a lot easier than I expected. So obviously we'll just do a final cut on Friday and then weigh in, and then it's time for business.
Excellent. Chloe, you fight this weekend, May 27th, on Roots Muay Thai 22. Thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah.